This is a public service announcement. The Folsden Society meetings have been canceled all week due to the North Dakota assassin turning out the lights. But have no fear, they'll be back next week to discuss bench warmers. How the hell does Nick Foles keep his ass warm on the bench?
Philly 500, already know what he about, boy. Reppin' Eagles to the day he die. Got no love for the Cowboys. Got the green, black, and the silver. Jersey on night, so official. Stream live, let's get down to business. Got Pizzle, he can get the middle finger. Haters gon' say what they want. But Eagles, we fly high. Got a shout out to the homie. Philadelphia 789. Biggest fan that you got.
Dallas still stinks. You're right, doing. Coming back here and welcome to the Victory Celebration Room, better known as my garage, where we come out and smoke a victory cigar every time the Eagles win. And yes, we need to paint that wall, but I refuse to do it because it bothers Mark Holmes. So I'm keeping it. Now, I can't smoke in the house, okay? I have to come out here. Otherwise, you know what'll happen. The wife will double moonwalk my ass. So we're out here smoking a stogie. And you know what? Today is a very special one. It's a very special one because not only did the Eagles win yesterday, but my man, the North Dakota assassin, got a signature win on Monday Night Football. Something that I believe is going to change the narrative about Carson Wentz. An untrue narrative that he's not clutch, that he's not a franchise quarterback. I never believed that for 1 second. And he proved me right yesterday. So, this victory cigar is dedicated to the North Dakota assassin and one Boston Scott who provided, I think, the spark that really got this team going. So with that said, without further ado, you know what we gotta do. Let's light this bad boy up. Touch it. Tastes so good when it touches your lips. Wait, big victory yesterday. Big victory. Now, for those who want to write the comment, dude, you're celebrating a win by beating a 2-10 team. Let me tell you this. I come out here for every victory that the Eagles have. Always did, always will. It's just the way it is. Now, yes, we should have beat the Giants. Yeah, it should have been an easier game. But look, NFC East matchups, you never know how they're going to go. They always play each other tough. What the hell is that noise? You hear that? Does that sound like somebody trying to start a car? Or does it sound like a kid playing with a toy? I swear to you, every time I come out here to do a victory celebration video, people come out of the house and start making noises, banging, all this crap. I mean, what the hell? It's quiet as hell before I come out, then it's quiet as hell after I go in. But while I'm here, I'm making noises. What the hell is that? Ah! Anyways, the Eagles won a game that they needed to win. They should have won. But, you know, you're playing the New York Giants. It's never easy. Even think back to 2017 when we won on a 61-yard field goal. We won the Super Bowl that year. The Giants stunk, but they played us tough. They're always going to play us tough. And by the way, I got to say this because I get killed for a lot of things, right? I get killed because I stick up for Carson Wentz because I don't believe that he's to blame for a lot of the things that people want to blame him for. He has his moments. He has his bad games. That happens. But when you look at this season overall, I don't think it's his fault. I also got killed because I was saying that if the Eagles can make the playoffs, they would probably have to win 4 games in a row. You can sometimes, you know, something could happen. You could get on a roll. You could believe in yourself. You can get hot. Those things can happen. They have happened before. They will happen again. And why not? Why can't it be the Eagles? And you know what? Yesterday's game was one of those games, the way it ended and what the Eagles did, that could totally get this team rolling. Totally get this team to come together, to believe in itself. And that's the way it goes. Much like in 2017 when the Eagles won on a 61-yard field goal. That's when they really took off. That's when they really started believing in themselves. They can do this again. They can do this again, and I'm excited about it. I cannot wait for that Redskin game. Now, I'm not super excited that we just beat the Giants because they stink. I'm happy that we're still in the hunt. We still have a chance. And I'm happy that Carson Wentz won the way he did because that was huge. You can see Carson Wentz at the press conference. You can see a weight lifted. He needed that win. He needed that win in that fashion, where he put the team on his back, and he basically won the game. And that's what happened. He was awesome in the second half. Now, he wasn't great in the first half, I'll give you that, okay? Because he missed some throws. But I'm also going to say, having watched the game again, there are some throws that he made that were in the right spot that looks like bad throws, but when you actually look at it again, you see that he's putting the ball where only there. What is that stupid noise? Where only his receivers can get it. Okay, for instance, there's a third down where Alshon's basically, I think he's running like a slant. He's coming inside, and he wants to throw inside, right? He wants it here. There's a defenseman right behind him. Carson puts it out here. The reason he put it out here was because the defender could have picked it off. He wanted Alshon to go this way, lean this way, head back this way, catch it, and run. Okay, only Alshon could have caught that ball. Secondly, there was another play where he throws low to Greg Ward Jr., and it's real low, he drops it. But he has no separation, defenders all over him. He had to throw it low so he could have a chance to get it, and it wouldn't get picked off. There's a couple throws like that where Carson makes where he's telling the guy, the receiver, you got to go make the catch. And they don't do it. They don't do it. So I thought his first half was worse watching it the first time. Watching it the second time, I don't think it was as bad as many people think. He still wasn't great. But in the second half, tremendous. And this game is going to go down as a signature comeback for him on Monday Night Football. And he's had a few of these taken away from him by his teammates. Nobody can take this one away from him. And you could see the relief. You could see the relief for Carson that he needed. The shot of confidence, that bolt of energy, that belief was back. I can do this. I can be clutch. I can come back. He needed it. The team needed it. And to hear the team say that Carson showed great leadership after that, during that game, was all the things that we needed to hear. It was all the things we needed to hear. Now, before I go double moonwalk, whoever's making that noise outside, I gotta say this. This video isn't going to be all rainbows and lollipops and unicorns. Okay? I do have some complaints, and I'm going to get them out of the way. I have to air my grievances. Now, if you're with me from the beginning of when I started my channel, one of the things I did the week before Christmas is something called the Airing of Grievances Week. And every day I would air another grievance I had with something or somebody or whatever. Okay, and I did one every day. It was fun. Maybe I'll do it again this year. I don't know. But in this video, I have to air some grievances. I have to get it off my chest because there's some things that I'm really pissed off about. First thing, why on earth would you dress only 3 wide receivers? I think that's like malpractice. How could you? Did I say draft or dress? Dress only 3 wide receivers. You only dress 3 wide receivers. Of course, Alshon gets hurt. Then Arcega-Whiteside gets hurt. Then if Greg Ward Jr. goes out, McCown is going to have to come in as receiver. That's how bad it was. How could you go into a game only dressing 3 wide receivers? I don't get it. They bring nobody to the active roster. They sign Marquand Michel. It don't make sense. I don't understand it. Secondly, how the hell do you go and play the Dolphins the way you did, and then you come into this game with no energy? Your first 15 scripted plays stink. They're horrible. Mike Rowe stinks. He's horrible. Did you see him on the sideline? He does nothing. You got to get rid of him. It was only when they went up-tempo and Carson had more control of the calls and the plays that they started to get going. And you saw him going out and being rolled out more, and that was playing to his strength. But why they come out the way they do, I don't understand it. I don't know what's up with Doug Peterson, but Doug has to do a better job. I'm not happy with some of what Doug has done this year. Dressing 3 wide receivers that's ridiculous. Okay? Second, here's another thing I have a problem with. Why does it take 14 weeks to get Boston Scott to have a big impact on his team? I don't understand it. Why did Greg Ward Jr. get cut? You bring him back, he's on the practice squad all this time, and he's just playing now. Greg Ward Jr. was the second best receiver during preseason. Boston Scott was one of your best running backs during preseason. Yet, they hardly play. Okay? And then you cut Marquand Michel, who was your best receiver in preseason. Just bring him back. He's on the practice squad. You have Deshaun Hall, led all players. He led all players in sacks in the NFL during preseason. He hardly plays. I think Howie Roseman and Doug, they have to get over this. Well, this guy's this name and he's older and he's a veteran, so we're not going to trust some of these young guys. Those young guys have outplayed them all year. And seeing Greg Ward Jr. and Arcega-Whiteside yesterday, they were better than Alshon Jeffrey and Nelson Aguilar and what we've gotten from them this year. They were better. They were better. It's like the Seattle thing, right? Where you have maybe Alshon and Nelson, they don't buy into Carson Wentz, or they like Foles, or whatever these rumors are. Okay, Seattle, same problem. They get rid of people and they bring in guys that know Russell Wilson is the man. Okay, Eagles, their guys get hurt. You bring in guys like Greg Ward Jr. or they know Carson Wentz is the man. They play and they're hungry. Boston Scott, they're hungry. They want to win. You got to have guys that are hungry. These guys are trying to take advantage of their opportunity. But they trust Carson Wentz. Seemingly a lot more than Nelson Aguilar and Alshon Jeffrey. And I don't think either of those guys should talk because I don't think they've done much. I mean, literally, Carson has 22 touchdowns this year. He could literally have 28 or 30. I mean, you could go back to Atlanta, drop touchdown. Detroit, 2 drop touchdowns. Last week, drop touchdown. Aguilar against New England. Possibly against Dallas, that would have been a close one. But I mean, the list goes on and on. Minnesota game, you're in that game. You hit Alshon Jeffrey on the sideline for no reason. He runs out of bounds. Should have ran in for a touchdown. Should have been streaking down the sideline for a touchdown. Carson has not been the problem. And I take a lot of flack for this because I say this every week. Carson is not the main reason of all your struggles. He didn't play good against New England. He didn't play good against Seattle. But he has nothing to work with. He has nothing to work with, and he's working with guys who are playing hurt and maybe don't want to be there. Okay? You put in some young guys who are hungry, want to take advantage of the situation, they made plays for him. Okay, and Carson threw some passes. He threw one pass at Greg Ward Jr. It was like, I thought it was going to go through his head. It was so hard. It was unbelievable. Carson was awesome yesterday. Carson was awesome, and I believe in him. I believe he's our franchise quarterback, and I believe you give him weapons, you're going to see him thrive. And I got to tell you, I think that was a big deal for Carson Wentz. I think he's going to feed off this confidence. And to get that whole, comeback touchdown pass victory, that clutchness, to kind of prove people wrong was big for him, and you can see it. And I can't wait to see how this team responds because I think that was the kind of victory that puts your team on a roll. So I'm very excited about it. Boston Scott, tremendous. I thought he was a spark. I thought that the offense really had no energy. They really had no energy up until this point where Boston Scott came in for Miles Sanders, who was dehydrated. Then all of a sudden, he made a couple plays that they looked like it juiced them up. The team started playing good. Then Carson put them all on his back, and he took care of business. He put the team on his back, goes down late in the fourth quarter, ties up, then wins it in overtime. Huge moment for the Eagles. How are they going to build on it? That's the question. Giants aren't a good team, but they're going to always play us tough because they're rivals. And next week is probably going to be a tough game too. And the Dallas game is going to be very tough. But we can do it. We can win. And I'm very proud. I'm proud of this offense. I'm proud of the young guys who were given an opportunity. And it just goes to show you that, the whole philosophy that Bill Belichick has, that when you win a Super Bowl, you kind of try to turn over at least 30% of your roster. There's something to it. There's something definitely to it. Alshon's probably going to be out a while. Nelson Aguilar, for all I care, you can just sit him. I don't need him. I'll go with what we had. Bring up Marquez Michel. I trust those guys more. I think Carson will trust them more. Even Perkins had a good game. Man, it was nice seeing the young guys step up. But there's just something about this team that when you have Alshon and just some of the way he goes through his motion, carries himself. Nelson Aguilar too. These guys looked hungry and they looked like they wanted to play for Carson Wentz. Sometimes it looks like these other guys don't. So I don't know, Oh, I gotta lay it up. It was a brutal day for me too yesterday because I came home, I was throwing up like half hour before the stream, throwing up. It didn't feel good. My wife was like, don't stream it. I'm like, I have to stream. I have to fight through it. So I streamed, got off, got done, did my post game, got done, threw up some more, threw up all night, been sick all day, not feeling good. Had to do a cigar. Can't break from tradition. And hopefully I'll start feeling better later on. That Eagles game, man, I was living on the adrenaline of that game and that win for sure for my post game, because I felt lousy other than that. But I did watch the game again, and it's really interesting to see what happened at the end. I think it's one of those spots, those points in a season where your team starts to believe in themselves. Start to believe in themselves. You start to gain trust in each other. And for Carson, he needed that. That was a big confidence booster. And he has all the talent. It's been a confidence thing with him this year. When he has struggled, not believing in some of the guys around him, I think he did a really good job. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, man. It's a stupid noise, I got some weird people around here. I got this lady, I tell you guys all the time, she walks around taking notes. She's with the HOA, trying to write people up. Her dog's pissing and peeing in everybody's yard, but she's writing people up because of the color of their doors, something wrong with it. And I always yell at her. She always yells at me, and I told her, because I put up all my lights are outside. Like, I got all my Christmas lights up. I told her I saw her and I was putting it up. And she's like, are you putting up your lights? I go, yeah, your dog better not piss over here, because it'll get electrocuted. Don't bring that thing over here. You know what I mean? Rough, mother humper. And she's like, I never. And I said, well, and you never will. We're enemies. She's like the anti-Philly 500. She's like Dallas 500. You know what I mean? Speaking of Dallas, it's all going to come down to that Week 16 game. It's all going to come down to it. The Eagles, Dallas, it's going to be for the division. I can't wait. And they're going to have to take care of business against Washington. These are going to be close games. These are division games. But anything can happen. But to me, and I talked about this in one of my previous videos, if you could just get the playoffs, and maybe you get hot, maybe you go on a roll, you have a home playoff game because you win the division, hey, you never know what can happen. Take your best shot. And to me, the way they won is what I'm so happy about. It's not that they beat a team like the Giants. They're not very good. But it's the way in which they came back and fought back that I think you can build on, and that it can get you going. Just like when the Eagles kicked that 61-yarder against the Giants. It was exciting. It's exciting. And I think we got a good shot. I think we got a good shot with this division, man. It's gonna be interesting. And look, I would like to see them bring Marquand Michel up this week. I would bring him up. I would probably sit Nelson Aguilar the rest of the year. Alshon's going to be out for a while, and I bring Marquand Michel up and let those guys go. Let the young guys go and play, because to me they're more impressive. They make more catches. They're hungry. It just looks like with the younger guys, there was more hunger. They wanted to win, and every week I see guys that seem like they're just going through the motion. And this is kind of what Orlando Scandrick was kind of talking about. And some of these older guys, they look like they just go through the motion, and Carson's out there busting his ass and he needs help. It looked like he got help. He got guys that cared. And maybe the guys do care, but just the impression I get is that we're better off going with these young guys and giving them a chance. So here's another receiver, Davis, I think his name. I don't know much about him. Watched a little bit. Very talented. Bring him up. What is that stupid noise? Bring him up. Let these young guys play, and let's see what they can do. And Doug, you got to dress more than 3 wide receivers. Okay, Mike Rowe and 15 scripted plays stink every week. I'll fire him. Just like Carson called the plays. They said that he was calling the plays that was up tempo, and he was picking the plays at the end when they were moving the ball. He was picking what worked for him. Keep doing it. Let him do it. He's a better offensive coordinator than Mike Rowe. And here's the other thing. One other thing that bothers me. I hate watching Carson Wentz when he goes to the bench and he's sitting on there with his little iPad thing, and he's looking at plays, and nobody's around him. No coaches are talking to him. Nobody's coaching him up. Nobody's helping. But when I watch Mahomes, when I watch Deshaun Watson, when I watch all these other quarterbacks, the coaches and stuff are talking to him. They're coaching them up. Why don't they do that with Carson? I don't get it. These are some things that have to change. We need a new offensive coordinator, a new defensive coordinator. We need to change the scheme that we run on offense. All this stuff is in the offseason. But right now we got to fight for a playoff spot. And it was a good win yesterday. I'm not, it's not going to make me say, oh, we could beat anybody. We're the greatest thing since sliced bread. No, we had a lot of problems. We have a lot of things to worry about. But at least I know this. At least I know that Carson Wentz put the team on his back yesterday and came up with a big win. And that's what we needed from him. How are they going to build on it? That is the question. It's going to be interesting. Got to take care of Washington. And look, if it would not surprise me if this team comes out firing on all cylinders. They're hyped, they're ready to play, and all of a sudden they look like $1 million. Because I think that moment, that clutch moment in which they won and the way they won, was huge for this team. It was huge. And it's a big moment. And if they can't capitalize on it, if they come in and it's back to the same old crap, and I got real problems with Doug Peterson and Mike Rowe. Just even more so. And Howie Roseman, where the hell you been? You don't bring any guys in. You don't bring any help in all season. I mean, all before the trade deadline. Only time he signs people are for the practice squad. Don't understand it. Anyways, I don't want to get too pissed off. It's a very good day. The North Dakota assassin shutting people up, and I love it. With that said, I'm going to let you guys go. Take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.